Fascinating Frontiers, episode 99. Today is June 12th, 2026. Let's look at what's new across the frontiers of space and science. A lunar meteorite recovered from the Sahara carries chemical traces of a 3.5-billion-year-old impact that struck the Moon, Earth, and asteroids at the same time. A small lunar rock found in the African desert contains evidence of a massive impact 3.5 billion years ago. Chemical fingerprints inside the meteorite match the timing of known collisions on Earth and in the asteroid belt. The sample was ejected from the Moon by an earlier strike and later reached Earth. Researchers say the shared bombardment episode may have influenced the delivery of water and organic material to the inner planets. Additional meteorites are being examined for matching signatures. Astronomers using the Atacama Large Millimeter Submillimeter Array detected a large supply of molecular gas in a galaxy seen when the universe was roughly 700 million years old. The gas is the raw material for star formation and helps explain how such an early system grew so quickly. The Leiden University team published the results in monthly notices of the Royal Astronomical Society. The detection marks one of the earliest direct measurements of fuel available for cosmic dawn galaxies. Follow-up observations will map how the gas is distributed and how rapidly it is being converted into stars. The Rebels 25 detection shows a galaxy already rich in cold molecular gas less than 800 million years after the Big Bang. India and France have signed new agreements covering satellite technology, planetary exploration, and advanced propulsion research. Teams will share data from Earth observation missions and coordinate on future lunar and Mars studies. Officials highlighted joint work on navigation systems and climate monitoring instruments. The partnership builds on existing agreements for launch services and ground station support. Next steps include technical working groups scheduled to meet later this year. The two nations have also agreed to expand cooperation on advanced satellite systems. Industry leaders report that artificial intelligence systems are being deployed to handle repetitive design and inspection tasks rather than to cut headcount. The technology helps overloaded factories meet rising demand for satellites and launch vehicles. Executives note that current production rates already exceed available skilled workers. Companies are training staff to oversee AI outputs instead of replacing them. The approach is expected to ease bottlenecks in composite manufacturing and avionics testing. The systems are aimed at supporting rather than displacing the existing workforce. Engineers have completed testing of antennas that will let the new navigation satellites talk directly with one another in orbit. The links improve positioning accuracy and allow the constellation to maintain service even if ground stations are unavailable. Reconfigurable payloads on the spacecraft will support future services once the links are active. Integration of the antennas into flight hardware is now underway. The capability is expected to reduce reliance on extensive ground infrastructure. Galileo's second-generation satellites are gaining these inter-satellite capabilities through ongoing hardware integration. The company is preparing to increase the cadence of its capsule returns from low Earth orbit. Each mission carries pharmaceutical experiments that benefit from microgravity processing before re-entry. The goal is to reach one flight per month once regulatory approvals are complete. Hardware upgrades focus on faster turnaround between landings and next launches. The schedule would mark the first routine commercial re-entry service for small payloads. Varda Space is targeting monthly re-entry flights to support this growing demand. The European Space Agency awarded the firm €10.9 million to finish development of VHF data exchange system satellites. The spacecraft will demonstrate ship tracking and two-way communication services from orbit. 3 satellites are planned to complete the initial constellation. The contract includes on-orbit demonstration and data validation phases. Successful tests could lead to an operational European maritime monitoring network. AAC Clyde Space has secured this contract to advance the maritime monitoring demonstration. A new 17-minute video follows flight controllers at the Munich facility that runs the European Laboratory on the International Space Station. Columbus Flight Director Tristan Hermel explains how teams coordinate with international partners around the clock. The segment includes footage of ESA astronaut Sophie Edenot conducting experiments during her Epsilon mission. Viewers see real-time monitoring of life support systems and payload operations. The center has maintained continuous coverage since Columbus was attached to the station in 2008. The European Space Agency has released this look at daily operations inside the Columbus Control Center. A composite radar view combines 3 acquisitions from January, March, and May to reveal changes across the Argentine capital and surrounding pampas. Urban areas appear steady in gray, while agricultural fields shift from green to red as crops grow and then dry. The Rio de la Plata estuary changes color with wind-driven waves captured in different months. Smaller towns west of the city stand out as compact, gray patches against the brighter farmland. The image covers more than 16 million residents living at roughly 25 meters above sea level. Sentinel-1 radar image shows Buenos Aires seasons through this multi-month composite approach. If you stacked every Sentinel-1 radar image of Earth taken in a single year, the stack would be taller than Mount Everest, yet still miss nothing on the surface. The satellite sends radio pulses downward and records the strength and timing of the echo that bounces back, a process that works day or night and through clouds. In the Buenos Aires composite, January data were assigned blue, March green, and May red. Any patch that changed between acquisitions lights up in the resulting color mix. Agricultural fields therefore shift from green to red as crops grow and then dry, while the city stays gray because buildings do not move. The same technique can measure millimeter-scale ground motion after earthquakes or track the slow advance of glaciers. The remaining puzzle is how to separate the signal of vegetation growth from the signal of changing soil moisture when both occur at once. An Earth-observing image shows how the Mexican city has expanded westward since it last hosted World Cup matches in 1986. The metro area now covers terrain shaped by ancient volcanic flows. New residential zones appear as lighter patches against darker farmland and lava fields. The view highlights infrastructure built for the upcoming tournament. Seasonal vegetation changes are also visible around the urban fringe. NASA satellite captures Guadalajara's urban growth through this updated Earth-observing perspective. The new guide walks users through the Eyes on Exoplanets 3D tool that displays every confirmed world beyond our solar system. Visitors can select any host star and view artist concepts of the planets in orbit. The tutorial explains how transit and radial velocity detections work, and how orbital distances are calculated. It also covers filters that sort planets by size, temperature, and discovery method. The resource is aimed at students and amateur astronomers. NASA has released this interactive Exoplanet Explorer tutorial to support broader public engagement. 3 planets remain visible in the western evening sky but are steadily separating. On Wednesday, the moon will pass in front of Venus during daylight hours for observers in parts of North America. The guide also lists meteor showers, comet positions, and variable star maxima for the coming week. Charts show the changing geometry of Jupiter, Saturn, and Mars relative to the horizon. Observers are encouraged to check local times for the lunar occultation. Sky and Telescope has released its June 12 to 21 observing guide with these details. On June 12, the thin lunar crescent rises just above the red planet in the constellation Aries. The moon is only 11% illuminated and sits almost directly overhead from Mars as seen from mid-northern latitudes. The pairing offers a chance to compare the moon's gray surface with Mars's reddish hue before sunrise. Both objects clear the horizon roughly an hour before the sun. The geometry repeats each month, but is especially striking this week because of the moon's narrow phase. A waning crescent moon pairs with Mars at dawn under these specific viewing conditions. New calculations borrowed from pure mathematics reveal hidden patterns in how black holes exchange heat and entropy. The work treats these objects as thermodynamic systems that can undergo phase transitions similar to ordinary matter. Researchers are examining whether these patterns point to a deeper connection between gravity and quantum information. The approach may help reconcile general relativity with quantum mechanics at the event horizon. Further papers are expected to test the models against known black hole solutions. Mathematicians are now modeling the thermodynamic behavior of black holes with these new methods. A British Columbia firm has been selected to outline Canada's contributions to future moon exploration programs. The study will identify technology strengths and partnership opportunities with international agencies. Work includes assessing Canadian expertise in robotics, life support systems, and resource prospecting. The contract is part of broader national planning for Artemis-related activities. Results are due later this year and will feed into government strategy documents. The BC company has won the contract to map Canada's lunar role through this assessment. Keep an eye on the next round of technical working groups between India and France as they move forward on navigation and climate instruments. That's Fascinating Frontiers for today. If you enjoyed this, a rating or review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify really helps new listeners find the show. I'm Patrick in Vancouver. Thanks for exploring with me, and I'll see you next time. And if you'd rather watch than listen, find us on YouTube at NARA Network. Links in the show notes. And before you go, this show is part of the NARA Network, a family of daily podcasts covering tech, science, markets, and more. If you enjoyed today's episode, give Models and Agents for Beginners a listen. Artificial intelligence explained simply for beginners and curious teens. You can explore the whole lineup at naranetwork.com. This episode used AI voice synthesis of my voice. Editorial selection and analysis are my own.
Drifting softly through